This is the Reds Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good afternoon, Reds fans. Weird to say on a Friday game, and welcome to today's edition of the Postcast, brought to you by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Podcast Network. My name is Tim Daniel. I am a lifelong Cincinnati Reds fan, and I've been podcasting about this team for 5 years at publications such as Late Night Reds and the Riverfront. And I want to thank you all for spending some time with me today as we discuss the Cincinnati Reds having a huge win today over the Atlanta Braves 3-2. If you were just checking my show for the first time, welcome. It's so great to have you here. Please be sure to hit that notification button here on YouTube so you can not only get my show after each and every single Reds game, but you can get Jeff Carr and Stephen Offenbaker Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds. And if you can't follow along with us here on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe to us on your podcast app of choice. This episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy Transfusion. Go to 5hourenergy.com today and use my promo code LOCKEDONGOLF to receive 20% off your first order. Offer valid through September 30th. Order transfusion-flavored 5-hour energy shots today. On today's show, we're going to talk about Will Benson having the day of days. We're going to talk about Brady Singer dominating, getting his first one of his career against the Atlanta Braves. And I'm going to spend some time giving some credit to Gavin Lux, who's been filling in the leadoff spot while TJ Friedl has been on paternity leave. All that and a whole lot more. And of course, I'm going to hear from you, our audience. Fun one today. Let's get to it, shall we?
This is what you'll be talking about.
I made the joke yesterday after the game on social media. I don't know which team needs to be saving runs for the next day. And I guess the answer was both of them is what it came down to. Is there wasn't scoring in this game till the 6th inning. Pretty crazy. Pretty fun, though. I thought that what you saw from Brady Singer today was incredible, and we're going to get to him in the next segment. But I'm going to talk about Will Benson today, because if you've been tuning in, as you know, Locked On has been really busy during the trade deadline. You've seen me on 5 shows in the last 3 days. You've seen Jeff and Steve on a ton of shows. We've been doing our thing. We've been awfully busy. And we actually said last night that we felt that with the move from Miguel Andujar, Will Benson might be the odd man out. And he's, and now that's looking like with TJ Friedl coming back as well, obviously. And now Will Benson's out there saying like, nope, I'm here to stay and I'm going to do everything I can to stay. And today he was awesome. So obviously the first hit of his first hit leads to, and he steals second base, and he leads to the first run of the game. Matt McLain knocks him in 6th inning, makes it 1-0. That's pretty awesome. And you're thinking like, all right, cool. Like this is what you need. So that gets him going. And then Will Benson goes out there in the bottom of the 7th off a lefty. Atlanta brings a left-hander in to face him, mind you, is the thing that's really fascinating. They go and they turn to Dylan Dodd, who has reverse splits against lefties. So maybe they just thought this is his day. And it wasn't his day, because Will Benson goes opposite field for a 2-run shot to make it 3-0. And then, of course, as this game's getting on and Atlanta's trying to make some runs before they do make that run in the 9th, he has an incredible catch later in the next inning in center field. I think he's had to get a lot of credit for how good he has thrown. I mean, how good he has been defensively, at least. You can say what you want about the bat. He's played a really good center field. So that was a huge day for him. And just to see him kind of control the game and kind of be the bat that the Reds needed today and he's had a decent week, right? The Dodgers series, he had a couple big hits, had an RBI in the 8th inning when they the one game they won. And he's been just swinging the bat pretty decently of late. And I know the numbers kind of say his batting average right now is higher than his on base his last 7 games, which is pretty hard to do. But what they've got from him between the Dodgers series and today has been huge. And also, friendly reminder, he's from Georgia. He grew up in Braves country. He grew up doing the chop, and now he's stopping the chop with a day like today. And I'm sure that just means so much more to him. So Will Benson today, being the bat the Reds need, was humongous. Absolutely loved it. Other guys want to point out Matt McLain, obviously, with the first RBI of the game. And, 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. No one's really going to talk about the game necessarily that he had, but that at bat that puts the first run on the board, I thought was huge for him. And, I know that he's had a lot of strikeouts of late, and I know that he's had some loud outs, but he's really swung the bat pretty well now for his last 15, 20 games, right? He's hitting about 300 his last 15 games. He's got a 354 on base. He's not hitting homers like he was earlier in the year, but I can live with that. I can absolutely live with that, with what they're getting from him right now. And then, of course, we're going to talk about Gavin Lux later in the show, but the Reds only had 5 hits today. And those days happen. Those days are hard. It's baseball, obviously. And Atlanta, for everything they're not as far as their record, they still have a ton of talent over there. I think you still have to respect them for who they have. And Bryce Elder was really good today. So, you had to find a way, and you made your 5 hits count. And I think that's the thing that's the biggest picture of this one. So, wasn't the easiest day for the Reds. They made the action, they got count. And so we're going to give them some credit for that as well. And on the Will Benson side of things, obviously that's great. But Brady Singer, on the other hand, also made sure that what he did today counted, as he was dominant, picking up his first win of his career against the Atlanta Braves. Let's talk about that and more right after this. Time to fuel up and turn up with the 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor of your favorite golf drink, minus the alcohol, into a quick, energizing shot. Whether you're sinking birdies or just making memories with friends, this one's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Let's be honest, some days on the course or off it, you just need the extra boost to stay sharp and energized. What's the wildest shot you've ever made? What's a total fluke or a well-calculated miracle? Did you Happy Gilmore it? My golf game, I don't have enough of those records to say for you guys, I'll be honest. But golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors, of course. The great ginger lime flavor gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without chasing down the bev cart. If you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that is the number 5hourenergy.com, you can use my promo code LOCKEDONGOLF to receive 20% off your first order. This offer is valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. This code is not good on subscription orders. Whether you're meeting up with friends or trying to turn 18 holes into 36, get the energetic boost you need through October. Order transfusion flavored 5-Hour Energy shots today. Want to shout out of our everydayers here on the postcast as we celebrate a huge win today for the Cincinnati Reds to wrap up their homestand. And of course, Lonnie, my good friend Lonnie Payne in the house, and everydayer shouts out, the Reds remain unswept on the year. If you're just checking me out for the first time again, thank you so much. Please hit that notification button so you can not only get my show after each and every Reds game, but you can get Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds. And we'll all be in Bristol tomorrow. If you're going to be in Bristol and you see us, make sure you stop us, say hello to us. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a really fun day. I can't wait to spend some time with some of our everydayers. And this is going to be a really fun event, good or bad, on the field. But we're gonna enjoy ourselves. Let's talk about when this game kind of got turned on its axle, shall we?
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
So I went with Will Benson's 2-run homer because that made it 3-0. And as we saw in the 9th inning, oh boy, did they need those add-on runs, as Emilio Pagan really struggled to get through the 9th today. I have to make sure I mention this real quick before we get to the Brady Singer. Tony Santiago and Emilio Pagan pitching so much. Holy man, I don't blame them for being spent at this point in the season. I don't blame them for having days like today where they had to slog it and they just had to push through and do everything they could to get the outs and rely on their adrenaline. But it's hard, and I respect the heck out of those guys. I wish the Reds had done a little better in getting someone to help them out in the bullpen at the deadline, but there's still possibilities they could make something happen there. It's going to be interesting to see if they do try to get some reinforcements, but I thought today, a win's a win. Brady Singer today, was he dominant? Man, was he dominant. So 6 shutout innings of 10 strikeouts, only 4 hits and 1 walk. And this is the first time in his career he's beaten the Atlanta Braves. So Brady Singer today, obviously, has, if we recall, his 2 starts ago against Washington, really struggled. And since then, since that game, has really backed it up. Obviously, last week against Tampa, goes 7 1/3, and it's really good 1-run ball. And then today follows it up with 6 innings with shutout ball. So in his last 2 starts, 13 1/3 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 7 hits, 2 walks, 18 strikeouts. That's what you traded for. If he's your 5th fifth guy, fifth guy in the rotation. Is there many guys in the fourth or fifth guy better than him besides like on the Dodgers? You know, like, I don't know. What do they consider like Glass now? Like their third guy, I guess, maybe. Tani, not important. I'm going to get us off track here. But for him today to kind of have these two outings that he had, following up that national start and keeping things going, kind of picking up where the Reds left off, because, you know, yesterday I know the game was extremely high scoring and it was a mess, to put it nicely. Andrew Abbott, even with 5 walks, was okay. He wasn't great by any means. Nick Martinez, that last game against the Dodgers, was like, hey, thanks for pitching really well. You're going to the bullpen because they got Zach Littell. So I guess Zach Littell is really the fifth guy at this point. But just to see, I'm excited to see how he pitches for this team as well. But just to see Singer have this outing like that was absolutely awesome. And to see Scott Barlow kind of pick that up too as well. Another guy who's pitched probably 937 games, getting his 13th hold of the year. And a guy who really struggled this week coming back from paternity leave. Took him a little bit to kind of get back to his old self. That inning today was really good. Inning pitch, got a strikeout. Tony Santillan comes out and does the 2 innings, gets the 2 strikeouts in his inning as well, and definitely had to fight through it. And then Pagan, of course, does Pagan and does the Pagan thing. So, you know, thank God he got his 23rd save. He probably needs 2 or 3 days off. Johnny says it here, and I actually really agree with this. He says Martinez will definitely help the bullpen out. I agree. I think he's going to end up being a really big piece for them, and I'm excited to see what he does, because I feel like they need that so bad. It needs a guy like, it's kind of like Brent Suter in the sense that you can probably use him in multiple roles. You can use him in a setup role. You could potentially have him close a game if need be, because he has the stuff to do so. He could be an opener if you're short a guy and you have to do a bullpen day. It's going to be, you know, really interesting to see how he pans out. But thought that today they got everything they needed from Singer. So kudos to that. It makes it really tough here for our locked on player of the game, doesn't it?
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
On the slightest of slight edges, because you could coin flip this one, but I don't want to keep doing this thing where I pick 2 guys, because then it's a players of the game. I'm going to give it to Brady Singer, but Will Benson 1,000% deserves it too, because without those 2 guys, there is no way they win today's game. Also want to make sure we give some love to Gavin Lux today. So as we know, while TJ Friedel's been out, the Reds have had to kind of do some different things with the lineup in the leadoff spot. You saw Matt McLain lead off one game, and it wasn't terrible, but to see him kind of have to get back to where he normally is in the 2 spot was interesting. And then seeing Gavin Lux come in and have a couple of games where he hits leadoff. Obviously the game they won in the Dodgers. First pitch of the game, though, Tani throws, he gets a double off him. Today, 2 more hits. And I feel like that's a really nice spot for Gavin Lux. I don't think it's going to be his, thing he's going to do every day, obviously. But I thought that today swung the bat pretty well, got 2 big hits. So we're talking about, last 15 games of 377 on base percentage for him. And we know he doesn't hit homers. I'm not worried about that. Are you getting on base? Are you giving the Reds an opportunity to score runs and win games? Yes. And today he had 2 hits. He did have a strikeout. Which is, obviously whatever. It's baseball. It happens. But I thought that the control he has in the box was really great today, and really kind of got things going, because like I said, they only had 5 hits today. Matt McLain had 1, and then Will had the other 2. And so Ellie does get intentional walked at one point to get on base and doesn't lead to anything, but still is nice to see that he is feared that way. And also, can we laugh about it real quick? I know everyone always wants to yell when Ellie strikes out. Can we laugh about the fact that his bat got stuck in the net? That was kind of funny how that worked out. That was joyful. And sometimes I think we just need to sit back and laugh when it comes to baseball, because otherwise it might drive you insane. So with that being said, we can go ahead and close out today with the Cincinnati Reds celebrating a victory over the Atlanta Braves before heading to old beautiful Bristol, Tennessee with a 3-2 win. The Reds have 3 runs on 5 hits and no errors. The Braves have 2 runs on 7 hits and no errors. Your winning pitcher today is Brady Singer. He is now 9-8. Your losing pitcher today is going to be Bryce Elder of the Braves. He is now 4-8, and Emilio Pagan gets his 23rd save of the year. And tomorrow is the big one, We head down to beautiful Bristol, Tennessee for the first ever MLB Speedway Classic between the Cincinnati Reds and the Atlanta Braves. And of course, if it's a Reds game, would it be a Reds game if it wasn't a rubber match? As Chase Burns takes the hill for the Reds looking for his first big league win. He is 0-3 with a 6.26. Once I said, like we said multiple times, don't care about his ERA because that Boston game probably shot it, and he's going to be just fine. He's pitched really well for a while now. He's going against Spencer Strider, who is 5-8 with a 371 earned run average as well. Chase Burns already has half the amount of strikeouts that Spencer Strider does. That's kind of nuts to think about. First pitch will be at 7:15. So once again, like I said earlier in the day, we'll be at the game. So, and then I'm staying with Steve, and we're like 20 minutes away from the track. So hoping I'm not super late tomorrow night. I'll do my best to get here and be on a rational time as much as I possibly can. Also, thank you for today. Hit a lot of traffic today. I had to listen to most of the game on the radio, and that was rough, but I got to have a fun day with my family today. And I think sometimes you need that a little more than you need some baseball, right? But great to see the Reds win today. Cannot wait to spend some time with you guys in Bristol tomorrow. Hope to see a lot of you. Hope to meet a lot of you. Shout out all of our everydayers. I'm Tim Daniel. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, and we'll talk tomorrow night. Go Redlegs.